As the South African elections continue to get closer and closer, we see now the election mode beginning to heat up. There is quite a lot of heating up that is happening in the political arena. Julius Malema'S final killer message before voting day for South Africa, a powerful, powerful message that he has delivered. And this is a message that resonates with even our Zimbabwean people. The Zimbabwean people must also learn from what Julius Malema says in this, where he is appealing to the young people, to choose what it is that they want. Because the issue of voting for individuals is the problem that we are seeing in our African politics, where people are not voting for ideas, but people are voting for individuals. We really need to move away from that and give a chance to hear a politician speak. Because right in Zimbabwe, we have a problem of ZANU-PF. A lot of people are just told that they must go and vote pamasvingo ipapo without even listening to the person, the individual who is speaking, whether that which they are saying or the manifesto they have, the promises that they have for their people, what is it that they are going to be doing for their constituents or communities. That is not important in the ears of many, because they are just victimized, they are threatened, they are frog-marched and told to go and vote pamasvingo. And yet pamasvingo will be having somebody who does not even have the credentials, somebody who does not even have their heart for the people, somebody who will never contribute positively to the development of the community or the constituency. So the very most important thing is to teach our young people and even the voters in Africa to understand that an individual coming to campaign is bringing an idea or ideas that need to be implemented in the area. And when the idea resonates with what is needed and the needs of the area, the cries of the people, and whatever are the demands of the people of the area, this is what makes an individual be voted for, in spite of where they are coming from. People need to be received because of the message of promise that they are giving. So finally, Malema is speaking about the promises. He's speaking about the condition of these people, and that they must look at what has happened in the previous years. And that if they were to vote without considering the right person to vote for, they will likely be voting their problems back. And this exactly is the same scenario that we see in Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe, while people have cried about ZANU-PF for a very, very long time, people still find themselves again voting for ZANU-PF. And voting for ZANU-PF is again the same problem of voting your problems back. You are voting your troubles back. No wonder why the problems are not going, or the problems are not going away. The problems remain there. The challenges remain even getting worse, because people still vote for the same individuals who are the perpetrators of the problems in the country. So any politician who is contributing to the suffering of the masses, voters must learn to remove them. Voters must learn not to even worry about the party they are coming from, but they must worry about the promises, the abilities, the wishes of this person, about the development that must happen in an area. So it is really a powerful message, which not only resonates to South African people only, but also to African people, the SADC region, Zimbabwe also included. We must develop our politics from just voting for individuals because they came in a chopper, they landed in a chopper, and people say, look at him, or voting for an individual because he's driving a very expensive car and everyone is gathering around him, like what we see happening in Zimbabwe, where people gather for Wigno Chivayo when he's sitting in his car in the city center. Just like that, young people will be gathering for him and spending time standing there instead of using that time for something that is productive and progressive. People are just doing nothing, just calling binga, shouting binga, binga, binga. How is that going to be helping you as a young person? Shouting binga, binga to somebody who is being helped by Emerson Mnangagwa to steal and to become rich. There's nothing that Wikino has done that is so extraordinary, except just having the chance to be closer to politicians. We have put him in the channels of looting money, and today he looks at himself as a millionaire with money that he never worked for. He's just harvesting money from the nation and the government without him working for it. The project in Rwanda, the solar project that he was given millions and millions for, is still not working. Zimbabwe is still having problems with electricity because Wicknell took the money and he ate it. And today he's moving around close to Mnangagwa, the very same president who is protecting him. And what can we do? And people must not be celebrating him. People must not be shouting, clapping hands for him as if he's a hero. He's not a hero at all. People like Wicknell Jivai are villains. They are never supposed to be celebrated. Those are not heroes. People that we call heroes are people like Mapfumo, Thomas Mapfumo. These are the people that we call heroes of Zimbabwe. People that have fought for the rights of the Zimbabwean people. He has sung during the war, encouraging Zimbabweans to continue with the war, encouraging the guerrillas to continue with the war. After the war, when ZANU-PF started doing funny things, he turned around and said, corruption, you guys are corrupt, you are thieves, you are stealing from the people. And ZANU-PF today, they don't want to see him. And yet he also contributed in the war, fighting with music, encouraging people with the music. And he was also arrested by Ian Smith many times because of singing for the liberation war. But today, ZANU-PF threatened him. People like Wicknell Jivai, they want to tell him that they can buy him a car if he says ZANU-PF is good. Something like that. So this is what we are talking about, that Julius Malema is giving a message of saying people must learn that if you vote the same people that are causing the same problems you are having, you are simply voting your problems back. But when you vote them out, you are actually voting your problems away. So I'm going to be just giving you the video here so you can just listen to what he had to say.
Mainly possible. We've been everywhere. Mainly possible. We've been everywhere. We've spoken in different languages. Comrade Deputy President, we've followed the manual as was presented before us. We've gone door to door. We've done canvassing sheets. We've spoken to South Africans. There is nothing we've not done to speak to the people of South Africa. Now, it is in the hands of the people of South Africa. Now, the people of South Africa must decide if they want unemployment. They must decide if they want load shedding. They must decide if they want to remain landless. The people of South Africa, it is now in your hands. We live here very proud that we did everything to make our generation very proud. All of you who are here, your names will be called when the books of history are read, that you took a stand and said you are going to fight for economic freedom in our lifetime. Let's go out, let's go in our numbers, let's mobilize our people, the ground forces of the EFF. Now is the time for economic freedom in our lifetime. Now we have a responsibility to vote for the government of the people, for the people, to vote for the people's education. Come on, God. Come on, God. Come on, God.
Wow, wow, wow. I feel goosebumps. I feel goosebumps when I look at this. This is the energizing of the people that we need to see our young people doing, to energize, to make sure that our people go there, vote in numbers, support the ideas of the young people, and take these Madalas out. Madalas must go home. It is time ZANU-PF must go. It is time that those liberation parties that have oppressed these people, their own people, must vacate and must go. So family, thank you so much for joining me on the show. We will meet in more and more shows that are coming.